Leo's Magical Treasure Hunt, a heartwarming tale of friendship and adventure. The Dreamer and the Seed. In a charming little village nestled between rolling green hills and colorful, blooming flowers, there lived a curious boy named Leo. Leo was known throughout the village for his bright, sparkling eyes and his big dreams. Every day, he would wander around the village, dreaming of grand adventures and magical things. He loved to explore the vast meadows, climb the tallest trees, and listen to the whispers of the wind. But more than anything, Leo dreamed of growing a magical tree that could grant wishes. One sunny afternoon, while rummaging through his grandmother's attic, Leo stumbled upon a dusty old box. He brushed off the cobwebs and opened it slowly. Inside, he found a peculiar-looking seed, smooth and shiny, with swirling patterns that sparkled in the light. His heart raced with excitement. Could this be the magical seed his grandma used to talk about in her bedtime stories? The one that could grow into a tree so special it would grant wishes to anyone with a pure heart? With the seed clutched tightly in his hand, Leo dashed down the attic stairs, nearly tripping over his own feet in his haste. "Grandma, Grandma," he called out, his voice echoing through the cozy house. She was in the kitchen, baking her famous apple pie, the sweet aroma filling the air. "What is it, my dear?" Grandma turned around with a warm smile, flour dusting her apron. "I found a magical seed in the attic," Leo exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "Can we plant it? Please." Grandma's eyes twinkled with delight as she knelt down to Leo's level. A magical seed, you say? It sounds like quite the adventure. But remember, my little dreamer, growing a magical tree takes more than just planting a seed. It takes care, patience, and love." Leo nodded eagerly, his heart pounding with anticipation. He could almost see the magnificent tree in his mind, its branches stretching wide, laden with the most delicious fruits, waiting to grant his every wish. Together, they went to the garden, which was filled with bright flowers, fluttering butterflies, and singing birds. Grandma helped Leo dig a small hole in the soft, rich earth. As Leo gently placed the seed in the ground, he closed his eyes and made a wish. "I wish to grow the most magical tree in the world," he whispered, his heart full of hope. After covering the seed with soil, Leo stood up and looked around. The garden was alive with color and joy, and he felt as if it was cheering him on. "I will check on you every day, little seed," he promised, patting the earth gently. "I will water you and sing to you until you grow into the biggest, most magical tree." The next day, Leo woke up with the sun shining through his window. He rushed outside, his heart fluttering with excitement. He knelt beside the spot where he had planted the seed. But when he looked down, his face fell. There was nothing but dirt. No sprout, no leaves, just the same old earth staring back at him. "What's wrong?" asked Rena, a playful rabbit who often visited Leo's garden. She twitched her nose and hopped closer, her big ears perked up with curiosity. "I planted a magical seed, but it hasn't sprouted yet." Leo sighed, disappointment creeping into his voice. Maybe it wasn't magical after all. Rena thought for a moment, her whiskers twitching. "Maybe it just needs more time, Leo. Sometimes magical things take longer to grow. Have you ever seen a flower bloom in just one day?" Leo frowned, remembering the many flowers he had seen. He knew that some flowers took time to grow, but he was eager for the magic to happen right away. "You're right, Rena," Leo said, trying to feel hopeful. "I just need to be patient. I'll water it again and sing to it." So, every day, Leo kept his promise. He watered the seed, sang his favorite songs, and even shared stories of his dreams with it. But as the days turned into weeks, Leo's frustration grew. He watched other flowers bloom around him, their vibrant colors brightening the garden, while his seed remained just a seed in the ground. One sunny afternoon, Leo sat by his garden, resting his head on his knees. He felt like giving up. What if it's not meant to grow? What if my dreams are too big? He thought sadly. Just then, Rena hopped over, noticing Leo's downcast face. "What's wrong, Leo?" she asked gently, her voice filled with concern.
It's been so long, Rena.
"What if my magical seed doesn't want to grow?" Leo replied, feeling tears welling in his eyes. Rena thought for a moment, then said, "Maybe the seed is waiting for the right moment. Just like you, it has its own journey. And sometimes, dreams need a little time to take root before they can bloom." Leo looked at Rena, his heart feeling a little lighter. "You're right. I guess I need to believe in the magic of waiting." Determined, Leo stood up, brushed off his worries, and smiled at Rena. "Thank you, Rena. I'll keep believing. I'll keep watering and singing. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow will be the day." And so, Leo continued his daily rituals, nurturing the seed with love and care. He knew in his heart that magical things were worth waiting for, and he felt excited for the day he would see his dreams come to life. Little did he know, the adventure was just beginning, and the journey of growth held many more surprises for him and his magical seed. The journey begins. As the sun rose high in the sky, painting the world in warm golden light, Leo felt a spark of excitement in his heart. Today was the day he would continue caring for his magical seed. With determination shining in his bright eyes, he bounded out of bed, eager to see if anything had changed in the garden. Rushing to the window, Leo peered outside. Maybe today is the day, he thought, his heart racing. But when he reached the garden, he was met with the same familiar sight, just the soft earth where he had planted the seed. A small wave of disappointment washed over him, but he shook it off. "No, I can't give up," he reminded himself. "I will be patient." Taking a deep breath, Leo knelt beside the seed spot and began to water it. "Good morning, little seed," he chirped cheerfully. "I hope you're cozy down there. I've brought you some water and a song." As he poured water onto the soil, he began to sing a lively tune, letting his voice carry through the garden. It was a song about dreams, adventures, and the wonders of nature. Leo had a special way of singing that made everything feel alive. Even the flowers seemed to sway along with him. Just then, he noticed Rena the rabbit hopping toward him, her big ears flopping in the sunlight. "What are you singing about today, Leo?" she asked, her nose twitching with curiosity. "I'm singing to my seed," Leo replied, grinning. "I wanted to know how much I believe in it." Rena giggled, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Do you think it can hear you?" "Of course. I bet it loves the music," Leo said confidently. "Maybe it will sprout today because of my song." With renewed enthusiasm, Leo and Rena decided to turn caring for the seed into an adventure. "Let's make our garden the most magical place ever," Leo exclaimed, clapping his hands in excitement. They spent the day collecting colorful stones, shiny pebbles, and vibrant flower petals to decorate the garden. Rena used her little paws to dig around, while Leo picked up bright daisies and lovely lavender, arranging them in beautiful patterns around the spot where the seed lay. "Look at this one," Leo said, holding up a particularly shiny stone. "It looks like it holds the sun inside." Rena tilted her head, admiring the stone. "It's perfect. We should put it right next to the seed for good luck." As they decorated, Leo felt his worries fade away. The garden became a joyful place filled with laughter and color. They sang songs, danced around the flowers, and imagined all the wonderful things that could happen once the magical tree grew. But not everything was as peaceful as it seemed. The next day, Leo woke up to find Rena looking worried. "What's wrong, Rena?" Leo asked, noticing her twitching nose and wide eyes. "I saw a naughty rabbit in the garden last night," she exclaimed. "He looked like he was trying to nibble on your seed." Leo gasped, a wave of concern washing over him. "We can't let that happen. We have to protect it." Determined to safeguard his precious seed, Leo gathered materials from around the garden to build a little fence. He used sticks, stones, and even some twigs he found on the ground. "This will keep the pesky rabbits away," Leo declared, feeling proud of his handiwork. Rena helped by gathering more twigs, hopping back and forth with her tiny feet. "You're really good at this, Leo." "It looks great," she cheered. With the fence in place, Leo felt a surge of confidence. "Now, we can keep the garden safe," he exclaimed, looking around proudly. But just as he finished, a sudden gust of wind swept through the garden, shaking the flowers and rattling the leaves. Leo's heart raced. "What if the wind blows away the seed?" he worried aloud. Rena's eyes widened. "Oh no, what if it's too strong? We have to protect it even more." Thinking quickly, Leo had an idea. "Let's build a little shelter for the seed. We can use leaves and branches to create a cozy spot for it." Together, they gathered large leaves and sturdy branches, fashioning a small roof over the planted seed. With Rena's help, Leo secured the leaves with twine he found in his grandmother's shed. They worked diligently, all the while chatting and laughing. Finally, the little shelter stood proudly over the seed. Leo felt a swell of pride in his chest. "Now, even if it rains or the wind blows, our little seed will be safe," he announced, beaming at Rena. "Great job, Leo. You're a true protector," Rena praised, bouncing with excitement. As the days passed, Leo continued to water and sing to the seed every morning. He could feel the magic building, even if he couldn't see it yet. He watched the sun rise and set, the stars twinkling above his garden at night, hoping for the day when he would finally see the first little leaves. One afternoon, as Leo was singing softly to his seed, he spotted something unusual. "Rena, come quick," he shouted, jumping to his feet. "Look." Rena hopped over, her eyes wide with wonder. There, peeking out from the earth, was the tiniest green sprout. Leo's heart raced with joy. "It's growing. It's really growing," he shouted, doing a little happy dance. Rena cheered along with him, her ears bouncing with excitement. "Oh, Leo, it's beautiful. Your magical seed is finally sprouting." Leo knelt down, staring at the delicate sprout that had emerged from the ground. It was small, but full of promise. "This is just the beginning," he whispered, feeling a wave of happiness wash over him. "We did it, Rena. All our hard work is paying off." Every day, Leo tended to the little sprout with even more love and care. He told Rena stories about the magical tree it would grow into, the adventures they would have, and the wishes they would make. They both dreamed of the delicious fruits it would bear, imagining all the friends they could invite to share in its magic. But soon Leo faced a new challenge. As the sprout grew, Rena noticed a group of playful rabbits eyeing it from a distance. "Leo, I think we need to keep watch," she said, her ears perked up. "Those rabbits look a bit too curious." Leo nodded, his heart racing again. "You're right, Rena. We can't let them nibble on our precious sprout." So Leo and Rena devised a plan. They took turns sitting by the garden, keeping a watchful eye. Whenever they saw the rabbits getting too close, they would make silly noises and dance around, trying to scare them away. "Go away, naughty rabbits," Leo called out one day, waving his arms. "This is our garden." Rena joined in, hopping and twirling.
"Shoo, shoo."
"You can't have our magical sprout." At first, the rabbits were startled and hopped away, but soon they realized Leo and Rena were only playing. They gathered around the edge of the garden, watching curiously, their eyes twinkling with mischief. "Why are you so worried?" one of the rabbits called out. "We just want to see the magical sprout." Leo paused, realizing that perhaps these rabbits weren't so bad after all. "Well, if you want to see it, you have to promise not to eat it," he said, crossing his arms. The rabbits nodded eagerly, their noses twitching. "We promise. We want to be your friends," one of them squeaked. Leo exchanged a glance with Rena, who seemed to be thinking the same thing. "Okay, but you have to help us take care of it," Leo said, feeling a smile spread across his face. "Deal!" The rabbits cheered, bouncing happily. They joined Leo and Rena, making a lively team in the garden. Together, they watered the sprout, sang songs, and even told stories about their dreams. The garden became a hub of laughter and friendship, buzzing with excitement. As days turned into weeks, the little sprout grew taller and stronger, its leaves reaching for the sky. Leo felt a sense of pride swell within him. He knew that the journey was just as important as the destination, and every moment spent caring for his magical seed was an adventure in itself. Leo looked around at his friends, feeling grateful for their support. "Together, we can make this garden the most magical place ever," he declared, filled with joy. And so, under the watchful eyes of the sun and the gentle whispers of the wind, Leo's garden blossomed with love, laughter, and friendship, laying the groundwork for the wonderful adventures that were yet to come. The storm. The days in Leo's garden continued to be filled with laughter, friendship, and the sweet promise of growth. The little sprout that had once been a mere seed was now a vibrant green shoot, stretching its tiny leaves toward the sun. Leo, Rena, and their new rabbit friends, Thumper, Nibbles, and Daisy, worked together to protect it, watering it and singing to it every day. As the sun warmed the earth, Leo often found himself lost in daydreams about the magical tree. "Imagine all the wishes we could make when it grows," he would say, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "We could wish for endless adventures, delicious fruits, and all the fun we could ever want." But as summer approached, something began to change. The skies turned darker, and thick clouds rolled in from the horizon. The air felt heavy, and a soft rumble of thunder echoed in the distance. Leo sat on the edge of the garden, watching the clouds swirl above. "Do you think it will rain?" Rena asked, her nose twitching with worry. The other rabbits gathered close, their ears drooping slightly. "It looks like a storm is coming," Leo replied, his heart beating a little faster. "But our sprout is strong. We just need to keep it safe." As the first drops of rain began to fall, Leo and his friends rushed to the garden. "Let's make sure our little sprout has enough shelter," Leo shouted over the sound of the raindrops pattering on the leaves. They huddled around the sprout, the little shelter they had built still standing tall. But as the rain poured down harder, the wind picked up, rattling the branches of nearby trees. Leo's heart sank. What if the storm is too strong for our shelter? He thought anxiously. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the garden, shaking the leaves and bending the little sprout. Leo's eyes widened in fear. "Hold on tight, everyone. We have to protect it," he yelled. They quickly gathered around the sprout, pressing their bodies against it to shield it from the wind. The rain fell in torrents, soaking their fur and furrowing their brows. "Don't worry, little sprout. We're here," Leo shouted, his voice filled with determination. Rena peered over at Leo, her eyes wide. "Do you think it can hear us?" she asked, her voice barely audible above the howling wind. "I hope so," Leo replied, feeling a mix of fear and hope. "It's strong. We just have to believe." As the storm raged on, the little shelter began to tremble. Leo felt a pang of fear in his heart. What if it collapses? He wondered, glancing at the frightened faces of his friends. Just then, the wind howled louder, and a fierce gust blew through the garden. The shelter trembled and creaked, the leaves rustling wildly. "Everyone, hold on," Leo shouted, bracing himself. In that moment, a bright flash of lightning lit up the sky, followed by a deafening clap of thunder that made everyone jump. The garden shook with the power of the storm, and Leo felt a wave of panic wash over him. What if the storm takes away our sprout? He thought, his heart racing. But just as despair threatened to take hold, Leo remembered his promise to the little sprout. "I won't give up," he declared, looking at his friends with determination. "We have to believe that it can weather this storm." Rena nodded fiercely, her eyes shining with courage. "We'll protect it together. We won't let it go." So, they all huddled closer, surrounding the sprout as the wind whipped around them. They sang a brave song filled with hope and strength, their voices rising above the storm's fury. The words flowed from Leo's heart, a melody that spoke of courage and belief. As they sang, the rain continued to pour, and the wind howled like a wild beast, but Leo and his friends held on tight, determined to shield the sprout from the storm. They could feel the power of their love and friendship, a magical force that pushed back against the raging winds. Suddenly, the storm seemed to shift. The rain began to lighten, and the winds calmed just a little. Leo peered up into the sky, and through the swirling clouds, he saw a ray of sunlight breaking through. "Look," Rena exclaimed, pointing at the glimmer of light. "The storm is passing." With renewed energy, Leo and the rabbits sang louder, their voices blending into a beautiful harmony that rang out across the garden. The storm began to fade, and soon, only gentle raindrops remained, falling softly like whispers from the clouds. As the last of the storm clouds drifted away, Leo and his friends breathed a sigh of relief. The garden was a mess, but the little sprout stood strong beneath their shelter. Its leaves glistened with raindrops, and Leo could hardly believe it had survived the storm. "We did it," Leo shouted, joy filling his heart. "We protected our little sprout." Rena and the other rabbits cheered, their spirits soaring as they hopped around the garden in celebration. "Hooray for the magical sprout," they sang, dancing joyfully in the sun-drenched grass. As the sun began to shine brightly again, casting a warm glow over the garden, Leo knelt down beside the sprout, gently brushing his fingers over its tiny leaves. "You're so brave," he whispered, feeling a deep sense of connection to the little plant. "We believed in you, and you believed in us." With the storm now a memory, Leo and his friends set to work cleaning up the garden. They picked up fallen branches and debris, their laughter echoing in the air as they shared stories of bravery and adventure. As they worked, Leo noticed something incredible. The sprout had grown even taller, its leaves shining brightly in the sunlight. "Look how much stronger it is," he exclaimed, filled with wonder. "It's like it grew during the storm." Rena tilted her head, her eyes sparkling. "Maybe the storm helped it grow, just like how we become stronger when we face challenges." Leo smiled, feeling a wave of inspiration wash over him.
Yes.
It's a reminder that even when things get tough, we can grow and thrive as long as we believe in ourselves and in each other. From that day on, Leo and his friends were more determined than ever to care for their magical sprout. They understood that storms, both in nature and in life, could be frightening, but they also brought new strength and growth. As the days turned into weeks, the garden flourished, bursting with life and color. The sprout grew into a young plant, its leaves reaching higher with each passing day. Leo often found himself sitting by the garden, daydreaming about all the magic yet to come. And as summer wore on, the bond between Leo, Rena, and their rabbit friends deepened, filled with laughter, love, and a shared understanding that together they could weather any storm. The magical transformation. As the sun rose over Leo's garden, it painted the sky with vibrant hues of orange and pink. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the world seemed to awaken with the promise of a new day. Leo, feeling a rush of excitement, jumped out of bed, ready to see how his beloved sprout had grown. Running to the garden, Leo couldn't help but smile. The young plant had flourished since the storm, its leaves now broad and bright, shimmering like emeralds in the sunlight. "Good morning, little sprout," he called out cheerfully, kneeling down to admire its beauty. "You're looking stronger every day." Rena, who was munching on a nearby carrot, hopped over, her ears perked with curiosity. "Is it even taller today?" she asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "It sure is," Leo exclaimed, beaming with pride. "I can't believe how fast it's growing. I think it's time we start preparing for the next step in our adventure." "What do you mean?" Rena asked, her nose twitching. "We should find out more about what kind of magical tree this sprout will become. Leo suggested, his mind racing with possibilities. Maybe we can meet wise creatures who know all about plants and magic. Rena nodded excitedly. That sounds amazing. We could ask the Elder Owl. He knows everything. With a plan in mind, Leo and Rena gathered their rabbit friends, Thumper, Nibbles, and Daisy, and set off on their journey through the woods to find the Elder Owl. The path was lined with tall trees, their leaves whispering secrets in the gentle breeze. Leo felt a thrill of adventure bubbling inside him. As they walked, the group chatted about what kind of tree the sprout might become. Maybe it will be a giant oak, with branches so wide we could all sit on them, Nibbles suggested, bouncing along happily. Or a cherry tree that blooms with pink flowers, Daisy added, her eyes sparkling with excitement. We could have picnics under its branches. Leo smiled at his friend's ideas. Whatever it is, I know it will be magical, he said, feeling a sense of hope in his heart. After a while, they reached the edge of a clearing where the Elder Owl, a wise and majestic creature, perched atop an ancient oak tree. His feathers were a mix of soft browns and whites, and his large golden eyes twinkled with knowledge. Leo and his friends approached slowly, feeling a sense of respect for the wise owl. Good day, young ones, the Elder Owl greeted, his voice deep and soothing. What brings you to my tree today? We've come to ask about our magical sprout, Leo said, stepping forward. It's growing so fast, and we want to know what kind of tree it will become. The Elder Owl nodded knowingly. The sprout. It holds great potential. The magic within it depends on the love and care you provide. Rena's ears perked up. What kind of magic? Will it have special powers? The Elder Owl smiled gently. Every tree has its own kind of magic. Some bear delicious fruits, others provide shade, and some even grant wishes. But the true magic lies in how you nurture it and the bonds you form. Leo listened intently, his heart swelling with excitement. So, the more love we give it, the more magical it will become? Precisely, the Elder Owl said, spreading his wings wide. And remember, dear ones, magic often reveals itself in unexpected ways. You must be patient and open your hearts to the possibilities. With that, the Elder Owl shared stories of other magical trees and the wonders they brought to those who cared for them. Leo and his friends were captivated, hanging onto every word as the owl spoke of trees that danced in the wind, trees that sang sweet melodies, and trees that sparkled with stardust. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the clearing, Leo felt a deep sense of inspiration. Thank you, Elder Owl. We promise to take great care of our sprout and nurture it with all the love we can give, he declared, determination shining in his eyes. With newfound motivation, Leo and his friends hurried back to the garden, their hearts full of hope and excitement. We can make our garden even more special, Rena said, bouncing along. What else can we do? Leo thought for a moment. We could plant more flowers around the sprout to create a beautiful space, and maybe even find some colorful stones to decorate it. The rabbits cheered, their spirits soaring as they brainstormed ideas. And we could tell stories to the sprout every day. It might help it grow faster, Thumper suggested. So, the group set to work, planting bright flowers in shades of yellow, red, and blue, creating a vibrant tapestry around the sprout. They arranged shiny pebbles into patterns, making the garden look magical and welcoming. Each day, they watered the sprout, sang songs, and shared stories filled with adventure and dreams. Leo often sat close to the sprout, whispering his hopes and dreams. I want to go on grand adventures with you, he would say, his voice soft and filled with love. I believe in your magic. One evening, as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Leo felt a tingling sensation in the air. It was as if the garden was alive with energy. Rena, Do you feel that? He asked, his heart racing.
Idol.
Rena replied, her ears standing tall. It feels magical. Suddenly, the air shimmered and a soft glow surrounded the sprout. Leo's eyes widened in amazement. Look, it's glowing, he exclaimed, pointing at the tiny plant. The rabbits gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder. The glow brightened, illuminating the entire garden, and Leo felt a wave of warmth wash over him. This is incredible, he shouted, his voice filled with excitement. As they watched in awe, the sprout began to grow even taller, its leaves unfurling in delicate layers. The glow pulsed rhythmically, creating a beautiful dance of light. It was a sight to behold, and Leo couldn't help but feel a surge of joy. Is this the magic the elder owl was talking about? Rena wondered, her voice barely above a whisper. It must be, Leo replied, his heart racing with delight. We're witnessing the beginning of something truly special. As the glowing intensified, the rabbits felt a bond form among them, their friendship shimmering like the light that surrounded the sprout. It was as if the magic of the garden was wrapping them in its embrace, reminding them of the love and care they had poured into nurturing the plant. Suddenly, the light expanded, and Leo felt a gentle breeze swirl around them. It carried the sweet scent of flowers and fresh earth, filling their hearts with happiness. The magical energy enveloped them, making Leo feel connected to something greater. Look, the sprout is transforming, Thumper exclaimed, pointing at the wondrous sight. The tiny plant morphed into a small tree, its trunk sturdy and its leaves lush and vibrant. Leo's heart soared with pride. We did it! Our love and care have brought this magic to life, he shouted, filled with a sense of accomplishment. The garden thrummed with energy, and the tree continued to grow before their eyes, its branches stretching wide. As the light faded, the friends stood in awe, marveling at what they had created together. This is just the beginning, Leo said softly, gazing up at the magnificent tree. I can't wait to see what other magic awaits us. With renewed energy and excitement, the group continued to nurture the young tree, knowing they had embarked on a remarkable journey filled with love, friendship, and endless possibilities. Each day brought new surprises and adventures, and they cherished every moment spent in their magical garden. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the garden, Leo and his friends gathered beneath the newly transformed tree. They felt a sense of wonder and joy, knowing they had witnessed something truly special. From that night on, Leo understood that magic existed not only in the garden but also in their hearts, growing stronger with each act of kindness, love, and care. The first wish. The garden was alive with excitement. Since the magical transformation of the sprout into a young tree, Leo and his friends felt as if they were living in a dream. Each day brought new surprises, and the tree seemed to sparkle with the potential of magic waiting to unfold. One sunny morning, Leo woke up with a sense of anticipation tingling in his heart. He hurriedly dressed and raced outside, eager to see their beloved tree. As he approached, he noticed the tree's branches swaying gently, even though there was no wind. It seemed to shimmer in the golden sunlight, casting playful shadows on the ground. Good morning, magical tree, Leo called, his voice filled with joy. What wonders do you have for us today? As if in response, the tree's leaves rustled softly, almost as if it were whispering secrets. Leo could hardly contain his excitement. He gathered Rena, Thumper, Nibbles, and Daisy, and together they stood before the tree, their eyes wide with wonder. Do you think we can make a wish? Rena asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Leo scratched his head, pondering. The elder owl said the magic lies in love and care. Maybe if we believe in our wish, the tree will grant it. His heart raced at the thought of all the possibilities. "What should we wish for?" Daisy asked, bouncing on her little paws. "There are so many things we could ask for." "Maybe we could wish for a special adventure," Thumper suggested, his nose twitching, "like flying on the back of a cloud or exploring a hidden forest." Leo thought about this and nodded eagerly. "That sounds amazing. But what if we wish for something to help everyone in the village, like a big feast for everyone to enjoy?" Rena clapped her paws excitedly.
Yes.
"That's a great idea. We could gather all our friends and family and celebrate." The other rabbits agreed, their voices bubbling with enthusiasm. "Let's do it! A feast for everyone." They cheered, their hearts swelling with joy at the thought of bringing happiness to their village. "All right, everyone," Leo said, taking a deep breath. "Let's gather around the tree and make our wish together. Remember to believe in the magic." They formed a circle around the tree, holding paws and closing their eyes. Leo's heart beat rapidly as he spoke. "Oh, magical tree, we wish for a grand feast for everyone in the village. A day filled with laughter, joy, and delicious food." Rena, Thumper, Nibbles, and Daisy joined in, their voices blending into a harmonious chorus of hope and excitement. "We wish for a feast. We wish for joy. We wish for everyone to come together and celebrate." As they made their wish, a warm breeze swept through the garden, swirling around them. Leo opened his eyes, feeling a tingle of anticipation. "Do you think it worked?" he asked, his heart racing. The tree shimmered even brighter, and the sound of rustling leaves filled the air like a gentle applause. Suddenly, a soft glow enveloped the tree, and Leo felt a wave of warmth wash over him. It was as if the tree was embracing their wish, wrapping it in magic. Just then, a flurry of colorful petals began to dance around them, swirling like a confetti celebration. "Look at the petals!" Daisy squealed, her eyes wide with joy. "It's like a party." Leo laughed, feeling a rush of happiness. "It's the tree's way of celebrating our wish. I can feel the magic." He couldn't help but twirl around, catching the petals in his paws. As the petals settled softly on the ground, the tree shimmered one last time, and then, almost as if it had heard them, a light began to pulse at its trunk. "What's happening?" Thumper asked, tilting his head. The light flickered, and then the tree spoke in a gentle, melodic voice. "Your wish has been heard, dear friends. Prepare yourselves for a wonderful feast, for it shall be a day to remember." Leo's eyes widened in disbelief. "The tree can talk," he gasped. "Yes, young one," the tree continued, its voice echoing softly. "Magic flows through me, and I shall grant your wish. Gather your friends and family, and soon you will see the wonders that await you." The rabbits squealed with delight, jumping and cheering around the tree. "We're going to have a feast. We're going to have a feast," they chanted, their joy bubbling over. With the magic of the tree guiding them, Leo and his friends raced through the village, calling out to everyone they met. "Come join us for a grand feast," they shouted, their voices ringing with excitement. "It's going to be the best celebration ever." As they spread the word, the villagers' faces lit up with curiosity and joy. Soon, everyone was buzzing with anticipation. Families gathered ingredients, baked pies, roasted vegetables, and prepared delicious treats to bring to the feast. The air was filled with the sweet scent of baked goods and the savory aroma of roasted meats. Meanwhile, Leo and his rabbit friends raced back to the garden, eager to help the tree prepare for the feast. They arranged colorful flowers around the tree, creating a beautiful setting filled with joy and laughter. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the garden, the excitement in the air was palpable. When the time finally arrived, the villagers gathered around the magical tree, their faces glowing with happiness. Leo stood at the front, a big smile stretching across his face. Thank you all for coming. Today, we celebrate friendship, love, and the magic of our garden. The villagers cheered, their voices blending into a joyful chorus. Hooray for Leo! Hooray for the magical tree, they shouted, clapping their hands. With that, the feast began. Tables were filled with an abundance of food, fresh fruits, fluffy bread, sweet pastries, and colorful salads. Laughter echoed through the garden as everyone shared stories, played games, and danced under the twinkling stars. Leo looked around, his heart swelling with joy. This was the magic he had hoped for, a day filled with love and happiness shared among friends and family. The tree, standing tall and proud, sparkled in the moonlight, its leaves shimmering as if they were joining in the celebration. As the night wore on, Leo felt a gentle tug at his heart. He turned to Rena, who was happily munching on a carrot. I can't believe we did this, he said, his eyes shining. The tree really granted our wish. It's more than just a feast, Rena replied, her voice thoughtful. It's about everyone coming together and sharing joy. That's the real magic. Leo nodded, feeling the warmth of their friendship enveloping him like a cozy blanket. You're right, Rena. It's about the love we share and the memories we create. As the festivities continued, Leo took a moment to step back and gaze at the magical tree. It stood as a symbol of hope and unity, reminding everyone of the beauty that comes from believing in each other. With the stars shining brightly overhead, Leo whispered softly to the tree, "Thank you for making our wish come true. I can't wait to see what other adventures await us." And as if in response, the tree's leaves rustled gently, filling the night air with the sound of laughter and joy, a reminder that together, they could create magic in their lives. The celebration continued late into the night, with stories, laughter, and the sweet taste of friendship lingering in the air. Leo and his friends danced beneath the starlit sky, their hearts full of love, joy, and the promise of more magical adventures to come. The Forest Adventure. The morning after the grand feast was a vibrant tapestry of colors, with the sun rising over the horizon, casting warm golden rays across the garden. Leo, feeling energized and grateful, woke up with the lingering joy of the night's celebration still dancing in his heart. Today felt special, like the world was filled with endless possibilities. As he sat up in bed, Leo heard excited chattering coming from outside. Curious, he quickly dressed and dashed out into the garden. Rena, Thumper, Nibbles, and Daisy were already gathered beneath the magical tree, their eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Good morning, everyone," Leo called, his voice bright and cheerful. "What's all the excitement about?" "We have an idea," Rena exclaimed, bouncing on her little paws. "Since we had such an amazing feast, we thought it would be fun to go on a grand adventure into the forest." "An adventure?" Leo's eyes widened with curiosity. "That sounds incredible. What are we going to do?" Thumper hopped forward, his nose twitching eagerly. "We could explore the enchanted part of the forest that the elder owl told us about. He said it's full of wonders and magical creatures." Daisy nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, maybe we'll find new friends or see amazing sights. It could be a day filled with surprises." Leo felt a thrill of excitement at the thought. "Let's do it. We can pack a picnic and set off together. We'll make it a day to remember." Quickly, the group gathered supplies for their adventure. They packed fresh fruits, crunchy carrots, and a few of the leftover pastries from the feast. Leo stuffed everything into a woven basket, and they all felt their hearts racing with anticipation. As they made their way toward the edge of the forest, Leo looked around, taking in the beauty of the morning. The flowers bloomed brightly, and the air was filled with the sweet songs of birds. It felt as if nature itself was cheering them on for their adventure. When they reached the forest, the towering trees stood tall, their leaves whispering secrets as the wind danced through the branches. The light filtered through the leaves, creating a beautiful mosaic of shadows on the forest floor. "Stay close, everyone," Leo said, glancing back at his friends. "The forest can be tricky, but together we can handle anything." They ventured deeper into the woods, their eyes wide with wonder at the sights around them. Brightly colored mushrooms dotted the ground, and the sound of a bubbling brook could be heard in the distance. As they walked, they encountered all sorts of creatures. A family of rabbits hopped by, their fur glistening in the dappled sunlight, and a curious squirrel peeked out from behind a tree, chattering playfully at them.
Look,
"It's a squirrel," Nibbles pointed, giggling. "I wonder if it has any stories to tell." Leo grinned, feeling brave. "Let's go say hello." He approached the tree where the squirrel sat, its little eyes bright with curiosity. "Hello, little friend," Leo called out, waving. "What are you doing in this part of the forest?" The squirrel tilted its head, eyeing them with a cheeky grin. "Oh, just gathering acorns for my winter stash. But I'd love to hear what brings you all here." "We're on an adventure to explore the enchanted forest." Rena piped up, her ears twitching with excitement. "We want to find magical creatures and hidden wonders." The squirrel's eyes sparkled with mischief. "You're in for a treat, but beware of the wise old toad. He guards the secrets of the forest and can be a bit grumpy." "Grumpy? Oh no. What if he doesn't let us explore?" Daisy worried, her fluffy tail twitching. Leo thought for a moment. Maybe if we approach him with kindness and respect, he'll share his secrets with us. We can ask him to guide us. The squirrel nodded approvingly. "That sounds like a great plan. The wise old toad lives by the big pond. Follow the sound of the water, and you'll find him." Thanking the squirrel, Leo and his friends set off in the direction of the bubbling brook. As they walked, they shared stories and laughter, their excitement building with each step. The deeper they ventured into the forest, the more magical it felt. After a while, they arrived at a shimmering pond surrounded by lush greenery. The water sparkled like diamonds under the sun, and colorful lilies floated gently on the surface. Leo's heart raced with anticipation as he scanned the area for the wise old toad. Suddenly, they spotted a large toad perched on a rock near the edge of the pond. His skin was a deep green, speckled with bits of brown, and his eyes were wise and ancient. He looked up at them, his expression serious. "Who dares approach the wise old toad?" he croaked, his voice deep and resonant. "State your purpose, young adventurers." Leo took a deep breath, feeling a mix of nervousness and determination. "We come in peace, wise old toad. We're explorers of the enchanted forest, hoping to discover its wonders. We've heard of your wisdom and would be grateful for your guidance." The toad regarded them thoughtfully, his eyes narrowing. Many creatures enter this forest seeking treasures, but few understand the importance of kindness and respect for nature. "What do you seek?" Leo stepped forward, his heart pounding. "We wish to learn about the magic of this forest and to share its beauty with others. We want to be friends with its creatures and protect its wonders." The wise old toad's expression softened, and a small smile crept onto his face. "You speak with sincerity, young one. Very well, I shall share the secrets of this enchanted forest with you." Leo and his friends erupted into cheers, their hearts soaring with joy. "Thank you, wise old toad," they exclaimed, their voices filled with excitement. However, the toad continued, raising a finger. "You must promise to always treat the forest with respect and care. Only then will you truly understand its magic." "We promise," Rena declared, her eyes shining brightly. "We'll be the best guardians of the forest." Then let the adventure begin, the wise old toad said, his voice warm and inviting. Follow me, and I shall show you the hidden wonders of this magical place. With that, the toad led them around the pond, pointing out fascinating plants and creatures. He showed them a grove of glowing mushrooms that lit up the night and a hidden waterfall where shimmering fairies danced among the droplets. Leo and his friends listened intently, their eyes wide with awe. This place is amazing, Nibbles exclaimed, twirling around in delight. I never knew the forest held so many wonders. As they explored, the wise old toad shared stories of the forest's history and the magic that flowed through it. He taught them about the delicate balance of nature and how every creature played a vital role in its harmony. After a day filled with adventure, laughter, and learning, the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow across the forest. The trees seemed to shimmer with the last rays of light, creating a magical atmosphere. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, wise old toad, Leo said, feeling grateful. We will cherish these lessons and protect this enchanted forest. The toad nodded, a twinkle of approval in his eyes. Remember, young adventurers, the true magic lies in the love and respect you show to nature and all its creatures. As they made their way back to the pond, Leo felt a sense of fulfillment and happiness. This has been the best adventure ever, he said, beaming at his friends.
Yes.
And we have so many stories to share, Rena added, her excitement bubbling over. With hearts full of joy and a newfound appreciation for the forest, Leo and his friends bid farewell to the wise old toad and headed back home. They talked and laughed, their spirits high as they reflected on the incredible day they had spent exploring the magic of the forest. As they neared their garden, the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. Leo felt a sense of peace and belonging, knowing that their adventures had only just begun. That night, as Leo lay in bed, he thought about everything he had learned. He realized that with every adventure came new friendships, new lessons, and an even deeper understanding of the magic that surrounded them. The forest had opened his eyes to a world of wonders, and he couldn't wait to share it all with his friends and family. With a smile on his face, Leo drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the enchanted forest and the adventures that awaited them in the days to come. The treasure hunt. As dawn broke over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Leo awoke with a spark of excitement in his heart. Today was a new day filled with promise, and after their amazing adventure in the enchanted forest, he could hardly wait to see what magic awaited them next. Leo jumped out of bed, dressed quickly, and raced to the garden. He was eager to share his enthusiasm with his friends. As he approached the magical tree, he spotted Rena, Thumper, Nibbles, and Daisy gathered in a tight circle, their voices bubbling with excitement. Good morning, everyone, Leo greeted, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. What's going on? Leo, you won't believe what we found, Rena exclaimed, her ears perked up. Look at this. In the center of their circle, a colorful map was spread out on the ground, its edges frayed and covered in mysterious symbols and drawings. Leo knelt down, his heart racing with anticipation. What is it? He asked, tracing the lines with his finger. Is this a treasure map? Exactly, Thumper said, his nose twitching with excitement. We found it by the pond when we were exploring yesterday. It looks like it leads to a hidden treasure somewhere in the enchanted forest. A treasure hunt, Daisy squealed, bouncing on her paws. This is going to be so much fun. What do we need to do? Leo examined the map closely, noting the landmarks drawn on it. It seems like we need to find the singing stones, cross the misty river, and then climb the golden hill to reach the treasure. Look, he pointed at a large X marked on the map. That's where the treasure is. This sounds like an incredible adventure. Nibbles chirped, his eyes shining with excitement. Let's go find it. Wait, Leo said, raising a hand. We should prepare first. We need to gather supplies and make sure we're ready for anything we might encounter. The friends quickly made a list of everything they needed: snacks for their journey, a rope in case they needed to climb, and a compass to help them find their way. They dashed back to the garden, gathering everything they would need for their treasure hunt. Once they were ready, they held the map together, their hearts racing with anticipation. Are we all set? Leo asked, looking at each of his friends with a smile. Yes, they replied in unison, their voices filled with excitement. With the map in hand, they set off toward the enchanted forest, the thrill of the treasure hunt propelling them forward. As they entered the woods, the morning sun filtered through the trees, casting playful shadows on the ground. After walking for a while, they arrived at the first landmark marked on the map, the Singing Stones. These stones were enormous and glimmered in the sunlight, each one uniquely shaped. As they approached, they could hear a melodic humming, a gentle sound that filled the air. Wow, listen to that, Rena exclaimed, her ears twitching in delight. The stones are singing. Let's see if we can join in, Leo suggested, feeling inspired. He took a deep breath and began to sing a simple melody. To his surprise, the stones echoed his voice back, harmonizing beautifully. Thumper hopped around excitedly, trying different notes. This is amazing.
I didn't know rocks could sing.
The friends spent a few joyful moments singing and dancing around the stones, their laughter blending with the enchanting melodies. Eventually, they knew they had to move on. We should keep going, Leo said, glancing at the map. The next stop is the Misty River. They followed the path leading deeper into the forest, excitement bubbling in their hearts. Soon, they arrived at the Misty River, a shimmering stream surrounded by thick fog that rolled lazily over the water's surface.
Wow.
It's so mysterious, Nibbles whispered, gazing at the fog. Leo looked at the map. It says we need to cross the river, but how? The water looks deep and swift. Maybe we can find some stepping stones? Rena suggested, her eyes scanning the area. Just then, Daisy spotted a series of flat stones poking out of the water. Look, there are stones over there. We can hop across. With determination in their hearts, they stepped carefully onto the first stone. It felt solid beneath their feet, and they quickly hopped from one stone to another, giggling and cheering each other on. Almost there, Leo encouraged as they reached the last stone. With one final leap, they made it to the other side of the river, cheering in triumph. We did it. Feeling a surge of excitement, they consulted the map again. Now, we just have to climb the Golden Hill, Thumper said, pointing up at the towering hill ahead of them. The hill sparkled in the sunlight, its golden grass swaying gently in the breeze. Let's race to the top, Rena shouted, her competitive spirit shining through. With laughter and encouragement, they sprinted up the hill, their little feet pounding against the ground. Leo felt a rush of exhilaration as he led the way, urging his friends to keep up. When they finally reached the top, they paused, breathless and beaming with joy. The view was breathtaking. They could see the entire forest spread out before them, the sun casting a warm glow over everything. Look at all the trees and the river, Nibbles exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. It's beautiful. And look, Leo pointed excitedly at a glimmering spot near the base of the hill. That must be where the treasure is. They hurried back down the hill, their hearts racing with anticipation. When they reached the spot marked with the X on the map, they began to dig in the soft earth, their paws working together to uncover whatever lay hidden beneath. With each scoop, their excitement grew. Finally, they hit something hard. What is it? Daisy asked, her voice filled with curiosity. Let's find out, Leo exclaimed, helping to clear the dirt away. After a few more moments of digging, they unearthed an old, beautifully crafted chest, its surface adorned with intricate designs. This is it. We found the treasure, Thumper shouted, jumping up and down with joy. Leo gently opened the chest, and a soft golden light spilled out, illuminating their faces. Inside, they found not gold or jewels, but something even more magical, a collection of shimmering crystals, each one glowing with a different color.
Wow.
Look at these, Rena gasped, picking up a brilliant blue crystal. They're so beautiful. Leo held up a vibrant red crystal, feeling its warmth in his paws. These crystals must hold the magic of the forest. We should share them with everyone back home. Absolutely. Nibbles agreed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. These will remind us of our adventure. As they gathered the crystals, Leo felt a sense of accomplishment and joy. They had set out on a treasure hunt, and instead of riches, they found something that symbolized their friendship and the magic of the forest. Let's head back home and celebrate, Leo said, a wide grin on his face. We can show everyone what we found. The friends made their way back through the enchanted forest, their hearts full of happiness and their paws full of shimmering crystals. Along the way, they sang songs and shared stories of their adventure, knowing that this day would be remembered forever. When they reached the garden, the magical tree greeted them with a gentle rustle of leaves, as if celebrating their return. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm glow over the garden. Look what we found, Leo exclaimed, holding up the crystals for everyone to see. These are our treasure. The rabbits and other animals gathered around, their eyes wide with awe. They're so beautiful, Daisy said, her voice filled with wonder. Leo shared the story of their treasure hunt, recounting their adventures with the singing stones, the misty river, and the climb up the golden hill. As he spoke, the garden buzzed with excitement, and everyone celebrated the magic of their friendship. That night, as the stars twinkled overhead, Leo and his friends placed the crystals around the base of the magical tree, creating a shimmering display that lit up the garden with a soft, colorful glow. This has been the best day ever, Rena said, snuggling up next to Leo. It really has, Leo replied, gazing at the magical tree. We discovered the true treasure today, the adventures we share and the friendships we've built. With their hearts full of joy and their spirits soaring, they settled down beneath the magical tree, dreaming of all the adventures yet to come, knowing that as long as they had each other, every day would be a treasure. The Festival of Friendship. The sun rose slowly over the garden, bathing it in golden light. Leo stretched his paws and yawned, a smile breaking across his face as memories of their treasure hunt flooded back. His heart swelled with joy at the thought of the shimmering crystals they had found, each one a symbol of their friendship and the adventures they had shared. Today was special. It was the day of the Festival of Friendship, an annual celebration in the magical garden that brought together all the animals and creatures of the forest. The festival was a time to share stories, enjoy delicious food, and celebrate the bonds they had formed over the past year. Leo hopped out of bed and rushed to the garden. The air was filled with excitement as his friends were already bustling around, preparing for the festivities. Rena was hanging colorful ribbons from the branches of the magical tree. Thumper was setting up a game of hopscotch, and Nibbles was laying out a blanket for their picnic. Good morning, everyone, Leo called out, his voice bright with enthusiasm. Are we ready for the festival? Yes, they shouted in unison, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. This is going to be the best festival ever. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the garden transformed into a vibrant wonderland. The magical tree was adorned with colorful streamers, flowers, and twinkling fairy lights, creating a whimsical atmosphere that made everyone feel special. Let's make a special place for our treasure, Leo suggested, pointing to a sunny spot beneath the magical tree. We can showcase the crystals we found during our adventure. What a great idea, Rena exclaimed, her ears perked up with excitement. They will add so much magic to the festival. Together, they carefully arranged the crystals in a beautiful display, their colors sparkling in the sunlight. The sight of the radiant treasures filled Leo's heart with pride. They were a reminder of the adventure they had shared and the friendships they had forged. As the preparations continued, more and more animals from the forest began to arrive. The rabbits, deer, and even the wise old owls swooped down to join in the festivities. Laughter filled the air as everyone exchanged greetings and shared stories of their own adventures.
Lau.
Rena, Thumper, Nibbles, Daisy called out a friendly rabbit named Bella, bounding over with a basket full of delicious treats. I brought carrot cakes for everyone. They're my specialty. Yum. Carrot cakes sound amazing. Nibbles cheered, his eyes lighting up with excitement. Can we eat them now? Not yet. Bella laughed, shaking her head. We need to wait until everyone is here for the big feast. As the animals gathered, Leo and his friends decided to kick off the festivities with some games. They organized a friendly race, a treasure hunt with hidden goodies, and even a storytelling circle where everyone could share their favorite tales. Let's have a storytelling contest, Thumper suggested, his ears twitching with enthusiasm. The best story wins a prize. Leo smiled at the idea. I'll start. Let me tell you about our treasure hunt in the enchanted forest. With everyone gathered around, Leo began recounting their adventure, from finding the singing stones to crossing the misty river and discovering the hidden treasure. His friends joined in, adding their own humorous twists and embellishments, making everyone laugh and cheer. As the stories flowed, the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the garden. The air was filled with the delicious aroma of the feast being prepared, and Leo's tummy rumbled in anticipation. Finally, Bella clapped her paws together. The feast is ready. Let's gather around the picnic blanket and enjoy our delicious food. With excited chatter, everyone settled down on the blanket. The picnic spread was a colorful feast: carrot cakes, fresh fruits, crunchy vegetables, and treats from all the animals in the forest. Leo's eyes sparkled with delight as they shared the delicious food, their hearts filled with gratitude and joy. This is the best festival ever, Rena said, taking a big bite of cake. I love celebrating with all of you. Me too, Leo replied, smiling at his friends. We've had so many adventures together, and I'm so glad we can share this moment. After the feast, the animals gathered around the magical tree, where Leo had arranged the shimmering crystals. We have something special to share with you all, Leo announced, holding up one of the crystals. These treasures represent our friendship and the adventures we've shared. Let's promise to always look out for one another and celebrate our bond. Everyone nodded enthusiastically, their eyes shining with agreement. Yes, we promise, they cheered. With the sun setting in the background, casting a beautiful orange glow, the festival continued with music and dancing. The forest came alive with laughter and joy as the animals twirled and spun under the twinkling lights. Let's have a dance party, Nibbles shouted, jumping up and down. Everyone join in. With that, the garden transformed into a joyful dance floor. Leo and his friends danced together, their hearts light and free. The magical tree swayed gently in the breeze, as if dancing along with them, its leaves rustling in delight. As the night wore on, the stars twinkled brightly above, casting a gentle glow over the festival. Leo sat with his friends, gazing up at the sky, feeling a deep sense of happiness. This has been an amazing day, he said softly, his heart full of gratitude. I'm so thankful for each of you and for the adventures we've shared. We're lucky to have each other, Rena replied, her voice warm and heartfelt. Let's make more memories together. With a newfound sense of hope and joy, they settled down beneath the magical tree, their hearts intertwined like the roots of the forest. They shared stories and laughter late into the night, knowing that no matter where their adventures took them, their friendship would always be the greatest treasure of all. As the last stars twinkled in the sky, Leo closed his eyes, feeling a wave of contentment wash over him. He knew that the festival of friendship was not just a celebration of their bond, but a reminder that together, they could overcome any challenge and discover endless adventures. And with that thought, Leo drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the many adventures still to come, wrapped in the warmth of friendship and the magic of the enchanted forest.
Whispering echoes.